Welcome to Enduring Journey to Bliss. My name is Deanne, and I wanted to give you an update on these basil. I purchased this basil at the grocery store in the produce section. Sometimes they sell different herbs there, and that's where I purchased this basil at. So I took this purchase, which was this one right here. This is the little pot it came in. And I took cuttings off of it, and I have a video that shows how I did that. And it has grown into this, the cuttings. These cuttings, I should have paid more attention to them this past weekend, because I am beginning to get flowers. And you do not want that. Hopefully you can see that right there at the end. That, if I do not trim that, that's going to continue and grow into blooms. And once you have blooms on basil, the taste of the leaves is impacted negatively, in my opinion. So you don't want that. So I'm going to take my little snippers that I use. I've got some isopropyl alcohol in here, 70% isopropyl alcohol. And I always like to use a little swab, and I will spritz that with the alcohol. Get it moist. Then I will wipe off my little whisker cutters here that I use for my indoor plants. And I'm going to trim this. Let me see if I can move this up a little bit so you can see the top of it. So hopefully, there you go. So I'll move it back a little bit. Let me move these two out of the way. Maybe I can move it back too, and that'll help. So this, as you can see right here, is where the buds are forming. I do not want that. But if you look here, you can see that at each one of these leaf nodes, I've got new growth. I'm going to take this one all the way down to here, cut just above that. Now I've got this that I can go in and use. It has removed these flower buds from forming any further, but I can still use these leaves in a salad. Or I actually am going to have some penne pasta this evening, so I will wash these, give them a little rinse, and I will put this on my penne pasta. So I'm going to look at this other. Here's another stem. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come down, and I'm going to clip, hopefully that is in the camera, I'm going to clip right here. And the reason that I clipped there is here's new leaf growth right by my thumb on each side, right there. Well, it looks like I have a little white fly. I will remove that. Okay, got it. All right. So I clipped this one right there, just above that leaf node. That one is trimmed down. I clipped this one. Let me lift it. Maybe you can't quite see it. This one right here, I clipped right there. And this one, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to come down. I'm going to come all the way down to here, right here. Clip that. Oops. Clip that, so that comes off. And where I clip that, right there, you can see the two new leaf stems that are coming off of this leaf node there. And let me see what else I want to clip. There's a tiny one down here. I'm going to go ahead and clip it, because if you look, hopefully the light's going to let you see that. There is growth already starting. I'm going to cut it and I'll pull it back up so you can see it. So I'm going to set it down. I'm going to clip just above that leaf node. Didn't take off much, but I did take it off. And if you look now, is that going to focus? Oh, there you go. There, I think you can see them. There's a leaf node on each side of that little stem where I cut that off. So that's going to continue to fill in and get thicker for me. And so what's in this pot, I took cuttings off of this that I bought at the grocery store. You can see how tall this is grown. I let this dry out, and you can see some of that damage here on these leaves. I let it get too dry, and I'm kind of paying the price for it. But I'll go ahead and I'll cut these down as well with all of you. Let me put these over here that I'm going to eat on my pasta later. I won't eat a leaf like this. That'll go in the trash. And then I took also these cuttings off this same mother plant that I purchased at the grocery store. And it's time for me to get these rooted up. It's almost past time. You can see how much root growth there is. So I'd like to go ahead and get those potted up. And I do see some bugs in my water. I'm going to kill them and pull them out. And use my little cotton swab. I just took those out of the water. See some more over here. I'm going to squish those, pull them up, grab my finger, and I'm going to put them on that little swab. Okay, so I need to dump out this water, clean the little container out, and I actually need to look at putting these into a pot very similar to what I did with these. And these, in this pot here, were just like this when I did my last update video. I potted them up in here. So I do need to do a little cleanup on this one that I let dry out. You can see here there's a leaf that's been impacted. Down below here there's some leaves that have been impacted. That one just fell off. You see, it's dried. So I'm going to clean this up here with all of you. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. But before I start doing that cleanup at the bottom, I'm going to cut these off because if you look right here, that is the flowers starting. That is the beginning of the bud formation. So we're going to come down. How far do I want to come down? I'm going to come all the way down to here. It's not in the camera. Come all the way down to here, snip it, and it's gone. So where I snipped that, right here, there is new growth right there, and new growth on this side. And in fact, I'm going to snip this top growth right here down. So that took off the top growth, and right there on each side, you can actually already see the little tiny. Is that going to come into focus for you? Well, there is two tiny little growths. Oh, come on, focus. Let me see if I can do it a different way. Hold on, I apologize. I'll do it that way. There you go. See that? See though? There's growth on each side. On this side and that side. It's very small, but it's there. So that will continue for this to grow and fill in. I'm going to turn on my overhead light because it is the time of day that my automatic lights are beginning to shut off. They're on timers. So just 1 minute. I'll turn on the overhead light so we're not in the dark. Okay. So I will continue to work on this. I want to cut it back some more. On this one, I think I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back to here. Snip this little one off. That's going to be really good to have that fresh basil on my penne pasta. You can see on each side, little leaves starting, little stems starting. And that's where I cut. So I'm going to continue to do that. This one I think I'll cut right here. I'll bring it back down because you can't quite see what I'm doing now. I apologize. And this one is coming off here. I'm going to take it all the way to here. And it has growth on each side. Right there. And on the other side. Then let's see. That one's already been cut. This one, I want to come cut this one down. Took this little bit off. And this one I want to trim right to there. And again, I'll bring it up. Hopefully you can see that. On each side where the leaf is, there's new growth starting to push out. So this one, I will come down to here. Cut that off, not very much. But that's okay, I'll cut it. And so now I'm going to do some cleanup. So like this leaf here, this leaf needs to go in the trash. It's not doing anything for the plant. Off it comes. Down here, this needs to come off. Here's one that fell off on its own. Put it down. This one's pretty yellowed. I'm going to cut it right there. And remove it. This one is pretty yellowed right in here. Oops, I didn't even have to cut it. It was so loose already. And that happens. Now here's a dried up leaf right here. Oh, one of my other lights went off. The automatic lights. This one I'm going to take off. Now if you look here on this stem, the one that's brown, right here, there is new growth. Come on, focus. See that? That will give me new leaf and new stem. So I don't want to cut that, just like this did right here. See, it's on the brown stem, but look at that. New growth. So I will leave that. I'm not taking that off. I will remove this little leaf here. I got to set it down. Can't hold it and take that one off where it's located. I have to set that down. I will take that leaf off. That'll go in the trash. And I'm just kind of cleaning up. This again is the mother plant that I took my other starts off of. This leaf I think I'm going to go ahead and remove. It's discolored. Set it down so that I can actually see what I'm doing here. I guess I waited almost too late in the day to take this video. My lights, I have them on timers, my grow lights. And they have decided it is time to shut off. And so this one, these little leaves down here, hopefully you can see those. Let's see if I can get that in. Yeah, they're there. They are growing at that junction right there, the brown stem and then the new green growth above. But these are fresh little leaves right there. So again, this is the mother plant. I can't remember what the purchase price was when I bought her, but I would guess it was probably, I don't know, probably at least $5, maybe up to $7. I can't remember what the price actually was. I may have shared it in one of my first videos that I did for this. But they're just in the produce section, at least at my grocery store. I live in the United States, and this was in the produce section. So I think I have everything cut down that I want to cut down so that it can continue to get full and be more bushy. And I might make some starts off of some of these that I cut off because I have quite a few, and some of them have pretty good long stem. But she needs a really bad drink of water. She has kind of dehydrated. Of course, this is winter, and I do live in Colorado in the United States, and it's winter, so my heater will come on. It comes on, and of course that dries out the air. So I'm going to move her back Let me see if I can reposition you a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and water her. I like to water my basil. Got a leaf I need to take out. I like to water it from the bottom up. So I'm just going to take my water. I'm going to fill up her little basin. There's another leaf I need to take out. And I'm going to fill it pretty full because she's going to soak all that up. Let me get these that I need to throw in the trash out. I think I see another over here. Yep. Let's get that out of there. And those will go in the trash over here beside me. I have a trash can. So this one is good. I'm going to just let her keep doing her thing and try not to let her dry out again. And these ones are doing quite well. I do need to go ahead and get them planted up. So I think I'll do that. Not tonight. I've got to finish cooking my dinner, but I will work on that as well. And so now this one, I think I have her, except for I want to do some cleanup on her too. Again, same situation. You know, when you work full time and you have a household and, you know, we all get busy, right? And with the heater coming on, because it's been so cold across the United States over the past 2 weeks, it just dries the plants out. So I think I've got most of the dead leaves that have fallen on their own. Here's one I need to remove. I don't want to eat that, and I don't want to leave it on the plant. So I will come in with my snippers here, and I will just take that off. That'll go in the trash with some other things. And this particular one, I have her in a self-watering container. And with the self-watering container, what you do is you have your reservoir down here, which is empty now because, as I mentioned, I need to water them. So you can see how full it is. There's a little window. You see how full it gets. And these little ropes, this little string rope, you put the bottom part goes into the water reservoir when it's got the water in it, and the upper section is pulled about up to here, and that helps bring moisture up to the mid part of the container it's growing in. I see another leaf I want to remove. Let me set this back in its container. I'm going to remove this leaf down here. It was kind of looking funky and, you know, not the best shape. I'll put that in the trash as well. So I think I have this one cut as much as I'm going to for this evening. I'm going to go ahead and give it a drink. And I will see if I can get this to show up for you as I fill that up. I'm going to move it back. I'm going to bring this down like that. And then I will make this quite a bit. There we go. And we will see if this is going to show up for you or not. So I'm going to put it like right there. And if you keep an eye on this window, as I water this plant from above, that window should start to fill up with water. In fact, I'm going to stop watering for a moment. I'm going to take you off of the stand, and I'm going to take you up even closer to hopefully so you can see what I'm trying to explain. There we go. So now I'll start watering again. Please focus. Okay, start watering. So just keep an eye on that window. I don't think the light's right. So I'm going to stop watering. And I'm going to take you back down like that. And so you saw how empty it was before I started watering. I showed that. So let me see if I can get that little window in enough light that you can see it. It just doesn't want to cooperate. I sincerely apologize. Um, Sorry about that. I wish that would come in. Well, doesn't seem to want to show the line. I'll lift the plant back up out of it. So if you look down in there now, you see there's water. And if the light was better in here, you could see the actual water line. Oh, there we go. Can you see that? There's like a water line kind of moving as I'm lifting it up there. And that helps you make sure you have enough water and show you if you need to water it or not. So we're going to come back out and I will put you back on the little stand and I'll lift you up. And so, yeah, I have watered this one in nicely. I've removed a bunch of the damaged or not that healthy leaves. And I've cut quite a bit of these off to help the plant to push out more bushy growth, fuller growth, which in turn gives me much more good basil leaves that I can use in the kitchen. You can dry these leaves. A lot of people will use dried basil. So there's lots of things you can do with that. This one here, I want to go in and clean that before I water it. But all I'll do is I'll lift these up and out. And I will pour this water out of this container. And I'll rinse it out a little bit because there's a little bit of algae starting to grow on the bottom. And then I will just place this back in just like so. And I will refill it up. Probably pretty similar to where it's at. Maybe a little bit higher, but not much higher. And then probably not until this weekend. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. But today is Tuesday. Enjoy your evening and enjoy your plants. Take care.